You won't believe what's next. See, the guy on the cover is Jack we met at the bar. Anne never expected to be ninth on the city's rich list. A wild plan flashed in her mind: pull a trick tonight. She left her child with a friend, donned her charm overload t-shirt, and went to Jack's favorite bar. Subtitles. Before she even had the chance to take the initiative, Jack unexpectedly walked over on his own. Instead of the angry expression Anne had anticipated, he was sizing her up as if he were selecting a product. A woman like you must have scared off her husband ages ago, especially since you're not even wearing a ring. Jack taunted. I'm not. I'm no single mom without a husband. Coming out at midnight dressed like this and married is a big deal. Jack mentally slapped a wild party girl label on her. So, do I get to join you? Let's see what this mystery lady is all about. Oh, a woman's name. Anne's expression suddenly became a mix of emotions. She felt wronged, more self-mockery than injustice, realizing Jack's absurdity hid a lie. There's a story 7 years ago. She fell madly for a bar singer one night. Yep, it's Jack. At a reckless age, she drank heavily, had a romantic night with Jack, but he left early next morning. He claimed to buy toilet paper and never returned. Later, she learned that night was her last in the city, and finally realized she had a crush on a player. By the time she found out she was pregnant, the truth was too late. After years as a single mom, she lost the drive to find Jack. At a dessert shop, she spotted Jack instantly and let her son keep counting coins, thinking of a showdown. Anne was just venting. For some reason, she wasn't ready to spill the beans about her identity just yet. Their TOT, current and TOT, didn't last long, and Jack went back to his drink. Suddenly, something caught her eye on the stage and had walked up there, apparently without her noticing. She started singing, and Jack was mesmerized, as if returning to the heat of those days. It was that song that made her fall for Jack back then, but now it became the reason for her single mom life. When the song ended, Jack walked over. Anne just raised her hand, still refusing to shake. While waiting for a ride, Jack quietly followed her. Anne wasn't about to give him any favors. She was ready to call for a taxi. She knew she didn't lack a meal, confidently kept her poise, and offered to pay. They hopped onto a bus with their wealthy companion, heading straight for an outdoor seaside restaurant. Both of them had lost the initial tension, and Anne and Jack's emotions began to shift subtly. Subtitles. Their moods now seemed as if they had completely switched mindsets. Anne's little joke was met with indifference from Jack as he asked about little Jack's family situation. She cursed that man who abandoned them, mentioning that he should have a going-away party. For the next 10 minutes, they talked about her family, and the mood lightened up a bit. Anne talked about her father living in wealth, but feeling trapped by the family expectations. So she chose to sing at a bar until she was discovered and had to go back to take over the family business. However, she didn't realize she was looking for someone to see through her. So where were you? Jack asked, trying to keep the conversation going. Anne launched into a monologue about her son's current life. She kept describing her and little Jack's life, and the conversation flowed for several minutes. As they got ready to leave, Anne noticed her scarf was missing. It was a gift from her son for Mother's Day. Frustrated, Jack pointed toward the sea, where her scarf had mysteriously fluttered away. Ignoring him, Anne jumped into the water without a second thought, and Jack, though puzzled, followed suit. Soon, the scarf washed back to shore, and Jack was deeply moved by her actions. Feeling a newfound admiration, the next evening, Anne got a call from Jack while reading on her couch. Jack invited her and little Jack out for dinner to apologize, and Anne eagerly agreed, glancing at her son who was still snoozing. She reluctantly brought her son along, still miffed about Jack snatching her cake the other day. After a round of her mom's lecturing, little Jack began to throw a fit, intent on ruining the dinner. His whining drew Anne's attention to the smoke alarm, raising all kinds of alarms in her head. To win over little Jack, Jack decided to start with what the kid liked. Anne had never guessed that mentioning little Jack's interests at the beach would stick in Jack's mind. Fast forward to Saturday, Anne handed her son to Jack, feeling a bit anxious. She and a friend followed him on a motorcycle, and sure enough, her concerns were justified. Little Jack asked Jack to pull over, and he easily regained the conversational reins, changing their destination on a whim. He took little Jack to a dog shelter, planning to buy a puppy to win her over, but unexpectedly, they struck gold. Subtitles: Little Can's eyes fell on a girl. Jack, who knew, saw her thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe before you go. Keep your humor alive, and let's share more laughs next time.